The next author is Jenifer Joy Madden. She has written for ABC News, PBS, and the Washington Post. This is serious stuff. Her book, The Durable Human Manifesto, is a declaration of human awesomeness. Please welcome Jenifer.
Thank you for that kind introduction. Thank you for coming. Hello, everybody. I see some people that I know. Thanks so much. Helps me jitter a little less. So I'm up here and I feel like I should be doing stand-up. And that's not my strong suit. But I can do show and tell. So I brought this along with me. This is a prescription for children to go outside. Very interesting thing. I brought a couple to pass around. I feel like holding on to one, just hang on to it. I'm writing this week about this story on my website, Durable Human, about a new movement to have physicians around the country to start to do this to try to get kids to go out and play. And it's really well designed and it's interesting, and it says walk, go to a park, play. But it's really kind of sad it's got to this point. And it's not just kids who aren't getting outside, we adults aren't either. And we're starting to suffer because of it. I don't know if everybody's probably seen some of these numbers, that depression is way up among people. Hyperactivity is really increased in children. Kids now spend 7.5 hours a day at screens on average. And adults say, 40% of us say we don't get any physical activity when we're not at work. None at all. And so that is something that we don't want to continue doing, because we've evolved to this point, our bodies have evolved to this point, and they're very effective at what they do. But if we don't lose it, if we don't use it, we're gonna lose it. So we should, one reason that we're not getting outside much is because we're very, very busy and preoccupied with something like this. Probably everybody has one, and a number of other, that's great. You're probably more durable than the rest of us. But we spend a lot of time with this, and that makes us, it sort of focuses us in singular directions. And so we start to really depend on our phones, and we also kind of really admire them because they can do so much. And that's true. But we're kind of forgetting about how much we can do as human beings and how endowed we are with many, many resources. And so let's just take a little inventory. We have our 5 senses. The big 5 are hearing and seeing and the magic of touch. One of the things that I go into here in the manifesto is one study of little babies who are just sitting on the floor babbling. And if there's a loving person next to them and they're in mid-babble, if they get a little nudge, just a little pat from that loving person, it's been proven that their vocabularies are increased, more increased than if somebody didn't pat them. And iPads can't do that. I mean, we can't forget the powers that we have. Really, that's what I'm talking about here. And so, but we have 5 senses, but as people know who maybe have some of their senses that have been affected, there are many, many other senses too, like compassion and caring and intuition and our ability to exchange information in a glance. These are all things that we can do that machines can't do. And I think it's gotten to the point where we have to really be proud of ourselves and understand what we've got, and to not let it go away and not to actually start to devolve. One of our best senses is the sense of curiosity. In kids, we call it the sense of wonder. And our curiosity is based upon the fact that we're individuals. Just think of the fact that there's just the one you, and there will never be another you. And the iPhones come off the assembly line by the millions. And so we really have to appreciate the uniqueness of ourselves. And if we have curiosity, we follow it. We are following it in a direction no one else is following. So that is what has made our society so interesting over the millennia. It's because we're all individuals, we're all interested in different things. We all follow up on those things, and we, somebody will develop like a keen interest in ant colonies, and somebody else will write a symphony. And that's what our cultures and our society has become very diverse because of our unique nature. And it's something that we need to be aware of, because if we all go to the same sites and we do all the same things and we listen to all the same people, we're going to become the same. We're going to become very much the same. And this is kind of serious because we cost a lot. We're very expensive when we get sick and that sort of thing. If we're all the same and we're kind of like sheep, it's going to be easy to replace us with robots. I'm sorry to say that, but I mean, it's gotten to that point. So in order for us to stay players in society as human beings, we have to maintain our individual diversity from each other. Now, one thing and so that's what this word durable is what I'm working with here, is that we have to keep ourselves up, we have to keep our human edge sharp by being durable over time. GM said built to last, and that's what we should be, is built to last, and to not fall off or let all of our skills go to fodder, but to keep them strong. So circling back around to the kids and getting out into nature, and the same with us, we are animals. We don't really like to talk about our animality that much, and in fact we start to act like machines, going all the time, acting like we have no limits, not acknowledging our muscles. We don't move. People are inside. As I say in the manifesto, the only windows some people see are made by Microsoft. Anyway, so we're of nature, and so that's why the doctors are writing these prescriptions, because when people go outside, their senses are renewed, but beyond that, they're starting to do some biometric measurements to show that blood pressure is reduced. People get calmer. Kids clearly get calmer when they go outside. All they have to do is just see nature. So that's one thing that we can do to be durable right off the bat, is to be more in rhythm with nature. So then you say to yourself, right, I don't have time, etc. But I'm going to throw out a couple ideas. One is go out, open a window. Okay, that's one thing you can do. You can start to hear things, maybe smell them, see them. Certainly see green. If you've read Richard Lou's book, Last Child in the Woods, he talks a lot about seeing green and how that's very powerful for us as human beings. But beyond that, we could go up Beulah Road here and go to Meadowlark Gardens. If you come by my table, my card has a picture of Meadowlark on the back because it's such a beautiful place. And we can, when we're walking in a park, it seems like we're not doing anything, but the research is showing that when you're doing nothing, you're moving information into your long-term memory. So what that means is that all the deluge of information you've gotten before you go into the park, without you knowing about it, some of it is being kept and stored rather than just flowing out your ears, which might have happened because we learn it. We read so much every day, it's ridiculous, and watch. So that's the power of going and walking in a park, if you can. The WND trail is right here. Other research is showing that if you move your four limbs through space, it increases brain volume, especially in older people. So taking a walk is really important. And just last week I led a group through a garden that's right behind the Smithsonian Castle building, and that was really great. There's a place called the Moongate Garden back there, and it's right off the Smithsonian Metro station. So I would suggest that you go and contemplate nature there. So anyway, this book is a little short read. It's online. You can get it, look at it for free on, download it at the durablehuman.com, or you can buy a copy back here. But it's the introduction to philosophy. I'm going to come out with a series of books about how to design your life to be durable. And I invite you to come back to the table. If you get a book, you buy a book, you can have a sprig of fresh herbs to renew your senses, and take that away with you. And so I'm going to ask a question now. Can somebody say something today that has made them more durable? Yes?
I made my first sculpture in Sweden.